What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start.
Round one.
You know it. Let's go. We got a lot of boxing to talk about, catch up on. 2026 so far has kicked off a year of boxing. And if you love the fights and you love this show, please do me a favor and reach down and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. So we're gonna be breaking down all these fights, fight topics, and pushing the boxing stream so that you guys have something to view, so that we have something to talk about during our night tonight. So if you enjoy boxing, you arrived at the right place. Don't forget to hit that like button. Like always, let's hop right into this episode. Frontline, I see you, my boy. What's up, my boy? What's up? I wanted, in fact, actually to start playing around with these sounds, and I wanted you to answer me a couple questions, Frontline, right now while you're watching it on video. Can you still hear me now as I'm talking right now? And can you hear the cheering sound effects? Yes or no right now? Like, can you hear the bell and me? Like that. Okay, I was on mute. Am I still on mute right now? Haney coming for Keyshawn and Core. It's a Core. Yes, you can still hear everything. Great. Awesome. So I'm learning which ones I could take off so far, which ones I can get away with it. Do you still hear the clapping and the bell right now? I'm just seeing how much audio. No? Okay, so that has to be on. That has to be on. All right. All right. I'm gonna still try to see what I could take off and what I can for audio, but so far that looks pretty good. So you can hear the clapping now, Funline? All right. No, yes, no, yes, no. You're confusing me, Frontline. You get me confused. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, Frontline. I'm gonna have to wait till you come up. Yo, listen. yo, yo, Haney coming for these people. Not so much Haney coming for them, or they're coming after Haney, we should say. Because Keyshawn Davis right now is apparently wanting the fight with Devin Haney. Now, a lot of us out on the outside are looking at this and we're saying to ourselves, how did we get here? Seriously, how did we get here? Look, check this out. Let's look at the ranking system at Boxing Scene, and let's look at the 147, and let's see how we got here. Now, Devin Haney is the 147 WBO champion of the world. Okay, he beat Teofimo Lopez with said title. Keyshawn Davis today is the number one for his title, which ironically, just 2 days ago, Keyshawn Davis was a 140-pound number one. Now it's Lindolfo Delgado for Shakur Stevenson's belt. Keyshawn Davis already left the 140-pound weight division with only 2 fights there. For 135, you can no longer make 140. Now you're up at 147, and I think he did this to avoid, of course, from fighting Shakur Stevenson, his brother, in boxing. In boxing, we all know it's a single man sport, but apparently there are some friendships being made, and they don't want to fight each other. Okay, Okay. I've seen two brothers in boxing not want to fight each other, the Jamel Charlo twins, but they were actually brothers, right? Okay. So my man said, you know what? I'm gonna go up and be the number one. Devin Haney's belt. I'm gonna fight Devin Haney. I think that's a big mistake for Keyshawn Davis. I think it's a big mistake. And I think Keyshawn Davis needs to recognize that there's levels to this. He's on a level. He's on a good level. He's on the type of level where you can be world champion, and he has with the skills that he has. I'm not sure if he's on Devin Haney's level. Not yet. A lot of people are going to look at Devin Haney and the performance he had with Ryan, and they're gonna have it. They're gonna find ways to say, "Oh, Keyshawn's ready for him." You keep feeding Devin Haney these type fighters, he's gonna beat him. Just like the boxing world said, Brian Norman Jr. was ready for Devin Haney. And the reality was, a lot of us felt and we knew he wasn't on Devin's level. The fact that he had so much power and he knocked out Jin, and Jin went on and said, "Bro, I lost like a month of memory from being knocked out by that man." That stamped it for the fans. They said, with that power, he's going to knock out Devin Haney. What happened? Devin Haney taught the boxing world a very important lesson. If you only got power, I can nullify that. I can fight around that. And I can deliver my own power shots. Devin Haney. Same shit I feel with Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is a bit more flashier than Brian Norman Jr., but make no mistake, they're on the same level. They're on the same level as far as boxing goes. The mindset, the carry out, the assignment, executing the plan. Keyshawn and Brian Norman Jr. on the same. So I think Keyshawn is going to make a mistake by fighting. And then who do you have that's going to convince me that Keyshawn Davis got a team around him that's keeping on his head on straight? That he's going to go and he's going to be disciplined. He's gonna make weight with Devin Haney against Devin Haney, and that he's gonna show up to the fight. I don't even believe in I don't even believe in Keyshawn Davis enough to say that he's a professional right now. He's all over the place. And I don't think he has the right team around him to convince me he can beat Devin Haney's team. Because you're not just fighting Devin Haney, you're fighting Devin Haney's trainers, coaches. You're fighting the whole team of Devin Haney. What they're going to come up with a game plan to beat you. I think with great coaching, yes, I did. I think with great coaching and everything, you know, uh you could devise a game plan to beat Keyshawn. I'm not sure if Keyshawn is that strategic. I think Keyshawn thinks he can beat Devin on sheer skill, will, determination. I think that's how he thinks he can beat Devin. I'm not sure if he's going out and fighting a particular way, looking for things, setting things up. I think Keyshawn is fighting off instinct, just reacting to whatever happens, to whatever the way it goes. The fight is flowing. He's going to make sure he's in shape. He's going to make sure he's been training. He's going to make sure he's sharp. He's going to make sure Keyshawn knows how to fight. He knows how to fight. He's got a mean body shot too, a mean one. And he's going to get to Devin. But Devin has fought many, many young black American fighters. A lot. Devin. He has sparred against The who's who's. If you were in boxing, Bill Haney flew you out. Bill Haney has put, and he made sure that Devin Haney, there isn't a style out there Devin Haney has not seen. Whether he can beat it or not, whether they found out that that style is tricky for him, this style gives him a problem. But I guarantee you, Devin Haney is a very privileged fighter. The type of father Devin Haney has, and what he did for his son, drag him around all around the world, getting all this training from all these different coaches and masters. I still think that Devin Haney needs to find an identity. I still believe that. He needs to put everything he learned and make Devin Haney. Stop trying to look like Floyd. Stop trying to look like AB. Stop trying to look like all these other fighters. The Pernell Whitakers, the all that. Let that go. And make Devin Haney. Devin Haney has not found his way as far as making his identity as a boxer. That's how I feel. I think he's a very talented fighter with a lot of boxing information. He just hasn't put it together yet. What you see Devin Haney doing in the ring as of right now to this present day, all I've seen Devin Haney do is do what he's trained to do. That's it. That's it. He kind of fights robotic. It's like sharp jab, sharp this, be sharp this way, do this right. Devin, he's not flowing. Devin is not like, yeah, every time he try to get elusive in a fight, Devin, I noticed, maybe not every time, right? I'm exaggerating. But when he try to be like slick, he gets caught. Oh, and he'd be like the tate quieto. He'd be like, oh, back to boxing, back to boxing. Devin that's Devin. Devin is he's dangerous. Devin's very dangerous boxer you want to go up against. He's the type of boxer that on any given night he can beat you. He can beat you. He's he's experienced a lot. He looks a little all over the place as far as his, like sometimes I see Devin in the ring and I think he's overthinking. I think he's like overthinking the like he's second guessing himself. You know what I mean? I've seen that like in the Jose fight, but I understood it. I understood why he was overthinking in the Jose fight, right? Then in the Brian Norman Jr. fight, I saw Devin fight, and I saw more. He was getting into his rhythm. He was getting his confidence in that fight. He was showing but he wasn't willing to commit. He didn't. Devin lacked in the Brian Norman Jr. fight. He lacked the killer instinct. That's what he lacked. He was sharp. He was sharp. Devin was sharp in the fight. He was on point. He was accurate. He was fast. He was moving well. He just didn't take chances. When he had Brian Norman Jr. in all kinds of trouble, hurt, shit like that, he wasn't willing to take the chance. That's what lacks. And the ferociousness of destroying your opponent, that vicious nature, that nah, bro, oh, I'm gonna get you. That's what Devin just he coasts. He's like once he's up on the card, he starts coasting. He's like starts managing the fight, pop, 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 working off the jet. It's good. It's great. It's a winning recipe. I can't say that it's a bad thing, but when the fans want blood, it's your job to try to give us that. We're paying good money to come out and see you fight. We're paying good money on pay per view. We're paying good money for these fucking subscriptions, bro, to support your career. The least you can do for us, if you got that much control in the fight, if you get caught, ow, like Tio did, right? And Teofimo Lopez for Arnold Barboza, New York City. Yo, Tio started. You saw Tio. He started like moving around, right? Then Tio was, bouncing in and out, doing the thing, and Arnold checked his ass. Arnold said, and he split Tio's. Tio said, he went, and he said, okay, I ain't doing that again, right? But at least Tio was trying. He got a battle scar for proving it. Yeah, I see Tio. He was still strong. Can't sleep. Okay, Tio. You know what I'm saying? Tio was trying to like pull Arnold down. That's the difference. That's where the difference lies between, Devin. But as far as Keyshawn Davis, I think Devin stops him. That's my honest opinion. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? All Devin do is win. That's all he does. All he do is win, no matter what. That's all. And Devin's fun too.
Another one.
Another one. You know what I'm saying? That's all Devin does. He wins. Jason, salute, brother. Jason's in the chat. Jason, what's up, round one and chat? What's up, Jason? Yo, Jason, the other day you asked me about my boy, Boogie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Bam Bam Boogie and shit. And it kind of made me wonder, like, damn, my boy is fucking out there. He missing and shit. You know what I'm saying? So listen, Jason, if anyone see my boy here, Bam Bam Boogie, he's missing. Okay? There's a reward out for it for the safe return of our chat brother. He has not been in the chat for quite some time. We don't know where Boogie's at. We don't know. But there is a reward. 100 cans of tuna for his safe return. It's 100 cans of tuna payable to the people that bring them back to us. Boogie, we miss you, Boogie. We don't like what's going on, Boogie. Where you at, my man? You know what I'm saying? Listen. I got posters all over town. I got people scouring the city for you. Frontline. Where you at? Listen. I just got the poster. Our boy is
Yo,
missing,
so,
bro.
so sorry for being late. I was putting up posters.
You were putting posters all
I
over
was
town.
putting up posters. Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
seen
yeah.
Boogie? Has any of you seen Boogie? Please, 100 cans of tuna for his safe return. Bring him back to us. Just, you know what I'm saying? The chat ain't been the same. The vibe ain't been the same. Where is Boogie? Where's my bro? It's the homie. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. He's been MIA, missing in action. I don't. Have you seen him from Nine? Have you seen
So,
him?
so the last I heard, the streets, streets talk sometimes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the last I heard is that him and Allie had a bad breakup.
A bad breakup.
Yeah, but he
Ah,
found, but he's got a new shorty.
oh, shit! I forgot about the new shorty. No, hold up. We've got a new boo. Wait a minute. We might be able to get this right now. So,
That's just I'm talking about what the streets been talking about. You know what
that's
I'm
what the
saying?
streets been saying.
The streets are talking heavy. They was like, yo, he had a bad breakup with Allie,
Damn,
and
bad
then
breakup.
he found himself another shorty. So
Another shorty wop.
yeah, so oh
Mmm.
shit! Look at Richard just said breaking news: Xander Zayas has tested positive for mofongo power.
Mofogo power.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stamp that. I'm gonna stamp that right there. I'm gonna stamp that. Yo, where the hell is this video at, bro? How far up is it? Yeah, my dude. Yeah, I can no longer find it.
Here, I'll send it to you. Hold on.
Send it to me.
Hold on. You ain't shit, bro.
What you
We try to
mean?
we try to find our man's here and shit,
I'm
and you.
trying to find him. I am trying to find him.
Oh God,
This is incredible.
el brother,
El brother, el broski.
where is
What
it
the hell
at?
is this?
Oh, I know where it's at. Hold on, I found it.
Did you find it?
I found it. I'm
You send it to the WhatsApp chat, right?
I got I'm looking for it. I thought I could have sworn.
Ah, bro.
Salam madre.
Yo, mine's is gone too for some reason.
Yo, he probably
He probably hacked into the system,
and
knew
got
we
it
had a
taken
video of his
down.
new girl, and was like, nah, I ain't having that. I ain't playing that shit. Yo, yo, anybody see my boy, bro? Let him know we miss him. I'm back home. I'm back to Round One Sports Talk. We will pay the ransom fee. Whoever kidnapped him, bro. This is ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? This is diabolical. Diabolical.
No me
Oh,
diga.
you don't got it. You don't got it, bro. Someone hacked into the system and took it down, bro. And took it down. Frontline, you ain't gonna find it. All right, let's get onto these chats. She got him on lockdown. I'm just someone. I'm on the case searching for Boogie, says Jason. Yo, Boogie. Yo, Jason. Yo, you gotta hit the streets, bro. You gotta hit the streets. You gotta find them. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yo, let me
we
say
know he
something.
left. We left Ali. It's over with. We'll never bring Ali up again. You know what I'm saying? That way Boogie doesn't get in his feelings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
tell him
Hey, shout
tell him
out
to
to
come back, bro.
Precise Constructs. Shout out to him. He says, "Hey, me coming for Kerr." Um, Shout out to Biz in the building. He says, "Yo." He says, "Yo, is Shakur already in suit for a question? If that's true, how will he will be going to how will he be going to fight Osaki? That fight's not happening whether he signed a suit for or not. That's gonna happen in February.
Yeah, I don't
Unless
think
his direction
Oshashi
is going
Foster is gonna fight him.
unless his direction is going to Haney. Shout out to Lono's Boxing. He says Devin Haney applying on the Avengers. Precise says exactly round one. Haney will make Key look regular. Shout
He
out to
will.
Richard in the building. No, he
He
won't.
will.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna stop it right there. Let me
He
tell you
will.
something. A well focused, a well dedicated Keyshawn
He's dangerous. He's
will
dangerous.
beat the dog shit out of Haney.
Okay, okay. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. You sometimes frontline, you gotta come back down to earth with us, right? Because you have a problem of judging the fight by off their fighting. You forget that there's levels to boxing. And when we say levels, meaning a person's ring generalship, a person's ring IQ, the win and the wear. Devin Haney's ring IQ, the win and the wear. He's been better, battle tested. He's no longer just fighting or boxing. Keyshawn is still in the phase where I feel he's boxing or fighting. But what he's not doing is he's not a more complete fighter than Devin. When Keyshawn gets in trouble, there's going to be fighting situations Devin Haney's going to put him in. He's not going to respond well. Devin's going to get put in those boxing situations and he's going to walk through them. He's going to look at Keyshawn and he's going to laugh and he's going to be here with it. And Keyshawn's not going to understand. Now, the good thing that Keyshawn has is that he does have Terrence. Well, he doesn't have Terrence Crawford anymore, but you got the best next thing. You got Shakur Stevenson. Now, as far as the art of hitting without being hit, Shakur's mastered that. I'm not sure if Shakur's the best offensive fighter. I don't think he's the best offensive fighter in the world. I don't think Shakur got the greatest power in the world. And I don't think Shakur can hurt guys on a level. Shakur got a good defensive and offensive, but safe style. He's not going to take too many chances in the fight. He's really not that elusive, Shakur, to tell you the truth. His elusiveness, people will be blinded by Shakur's style. What I mean is this. They're actually going to look at Shakur styles, and I've heard this for years and many, many times. I really didn't try to argue it because I just let people talk. But to be honest with you, when Shakur Stevenson fights, it's not that he dodges and slips punches well. That's not where his genius lies. His genius lies in the ability to read how much you, if you overextend it, if you left yourself exposed, and the counter to that. The answer to every punch is what Shakur's really good at. That's where his genius is at. Whatever punch you throw, he has the answer to that. It's not that he's flipping these punches and just straight rocking the dudes. No, Shakur gets touched up. He gets hit, but he's rolling. He knows how to roll with a punch extremely well, and he knows how to pull counter real well. So what Shakur actually is doing, it's not that he's so fast that you can't hit him. You can hit Shakur. It's the response he gives you that breaks up your rhythm. That when guys are like trying to throw punches at Shakur, that punch on the inside fucks him up. Oh, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh shit. And then boom, and then Shakur's shining on you because he's real accurate. When he throws his punches, he's on target. That can give you the perception that he's like a Pernell Whitaker. Shakur is nowhere near Pernell Whitaker's evasive, a moving. Now that's a guy that really slip punches and that can hit you. Shakur's actually not that nice. He's not. But the fact that he breaks up your rhythm so fast, when he has, like I'm telling you, he has an answer for whatever shot you hit, you throw. So he's gonna hit you on the end, and he's gonna break up, and you're gonna be like, you can't even hit him. No, it's not that you can't hit him. It's that he's really good in that situation. So if he could pass some of those skills, some of those traits on to Keithon to better help himself against a fighter like Devin. Devin is the kind of fighter that Devin fights off his jab. Devin has been always the fighter that he works off the jab and he uses it to put his punches together. Devin is real slick. He can make reads. Devin can fight going to the right, to the left. The only thing that Devin's flaw is when you're punching at him and he decides to go in the shell. Once you got Devin in the shell, he has no answer. He's never had an answer. Show me or type in the text any fight of Devin's entire career where that you saw Devin hit in the high guard and counter off of it, off the ropes.
Never. Never.
He'll never he never does that. He does it, he runs out, he frames off, he pushes off. He goes like this, but Devin won't punch with you out of the high guard. He's not gonna do it. He's never done it. So fighters like Tank know that. When Tank sparred against him, you go watch those sparring videos against Tank Davis and Devin, you're gonna notice Damn, Devin never, every time he chooses to go in the guard and goes back, that's what he does. You can count on that. That's a bad habit Devin had since the amateurs. You understand? But nobody's been able to really get him out of it. You understand? That would be Keyshawn's assignment to punch and push Devin back, to make him get in the high guard, to rip the body, make him drop his guard, rip his hands off his face, and try to hit him. That would be Keyshawn Davis's assignment. That's what he would need to do. That's not going to be easy. Devin's not just going to let you walk through the front door. You know, Devin will shut up, but Devin's always looking to move. Devin has smart feet. He has smart feet. Devin can move. His top body and his bottom match. They match. Not like Rolly. They don't match. Keyshawn's, they match a little bit, but you can bait Keyshawn to get out of step, just like Albright did. You see what I'm saying? Like he'll fumble in a step, like he'll misstep and he'll be out of position. Keyshawn, I think those small traits that Devin has over Keyshawn is going to show in the fight. Is how they fight. That's going to show up. It's going to show up Devin's experience, and I think that is what's going to ultimately win Devin the fight. I think the fight would go to the scorecard with Keyshawn and Devin. I see it going 12 rounds. I see Devin beating him in a unanimous decision, 7-5, somewhere around there like that. Maybe it might be even a bigger margin, 4, 8-4. You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but yeah, yeah. I don't see Keyshawn getting to Devin all night like that, like trapping Devin. Devin's feet is too smart. Devin's good. Devin's jab is nasty. Keyshawn's going to try to hook a force in between it because they're all thinking that Devin's going to keep using that bow and arrow jab, and I don't think so. Now, you see, the problem in boxing is that once one person exposes you or does something to you, the entire boxing world thinks anybody else can do it. And that can be furthest from the truth. Just because Ryan Garcia found the shot to fucking really hurt Devin Haney doesn't mean, Keyshawn, you can do it. That don't mean you can do it. You might even be more skilled than Ryan. He underestimated Ryan. He's not going to underestimate you, Keyshawn. You're not going to get close enough to where Ryan was with Devin. Why? Because Ryan Garcia taught Devin Haney that valuable lesson. That's what I talk about, experience. Even in an ass whooping, you can gain something out of that. You can learn something from that. Keyshawn, had Devin never experienced that with Ryan, you might have had a chance. But Devin's not going to ever, and I repeat, ever let that night repeat again. Devin sat for weeks, months in a room thinking about that night over and over and over and over and over. How the fuck did Ryan Garcia do that to me? Then the steroids, PE allegations, whatever, Austrian. And he tried to take comfort in that, but he knew in the back of his mind, Devin knew the real culprit in all of this was Devin Haney. Brother, you failed yourself. You allowed yourself to think that Ryan was falling apart. You fell for the shenanigans. You underestimated Ryan, Devin. You did. And the moment you can live with that and say to yourself, I made a mistake. I fucked up. That's when you can start growing. Stop putting the blame on Austrian, on everything else. No, no. What were you doing in the ring, Devin? You mean to tell me you knew all the answers to the test and failed the test? Devin Haney. Devin Haney told you all week leading into the fight you ain't nothing but a left check hook. What was the first shot in the first round he hit you with? What the fuck were you working on, Devin?
Nah, he worked on that left. He worked on that left. He just didn't work on his speed. He didn't expect Ryan to be that fast.
We didn't expect him to be now. Check this out. Great point. Underestimating your opponent. It's another sign of him underestimating Ryan. He learned a very valuable lesson on that night. Keyshawn ain't gonna be able to do that to him. No, Devin Haney, for all those nights and weeks, he had to sit with himself. I bet you he vowed never to allow another man to do that to him again. Ever. Every fight from here on in, Devin's gonna treat that dude accordingly. You're gonna have to beat him at this point. And I always said it, and that Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, I never thought, like a lot of people said, it was Devin Haney's defense. His defense was lacking. It was Devin Haney this, and I was like, no, it was none of those things. I always thought it was just his selection of weapon. When he threw that bow and arrow jab and he was extended, he left himself vulnerable. You chose the wrong weapon, the wrong kind of jab. There are many jabs. The bow and arrow jab is a very effective jab when used at the right distance, at the right angle. It's very effective. You could use a side jab, a stiff jab, a measuring jab. You're trying to measure the distance with it, a circling jab. These are all kinds of jabs in boxing. None of them are wrong. But when you use them at the wrong distance, when you try to double up on a jab, like you're taught, double up on your jab, and the guy sidesteps you, slips your first jab, and you go to throw the second one, you're going to get caught. Because your coach is going to tell you, yo, he already slipped on you. You saw that. Break away. Boom, don't throw the second one. Boom, pop, pop. Okay, I saw what you were doing. You were reading and expecting me to throw the double jab. See what I'm saying? So all these things, they're just learning. And I don't think Keyshawn's been battle tested like that. I just don't think. I thought Jermaine Ortiz was gonna be the fighter to push Keyshawn. He shot Jermaine down, bro. Jermaine had a bad night. He had a bad night. And Keyshawn shut him down, and he wasn't the fighter that I thought that might push Keyshawn. Then they gave him this Albright, and Keyshawn didn't take it serious. He couldn't recognize that he took it as a punishment. Keyshawn took it as, bro, I don't want to be here fucking fighting Albright. I should be fighting somebody else. For some title eliminator or something, and you're making me fight Albright again. I already fought this dude, right? He couldn't recognize that Top Rank gave him a gift. Keyshawn was so much into his own world that he couldn't recognize, bro, they brought you back to the scene of the crime. They brought you back to Norfolk, Virginia, where you lost your belt on the scale, where you got charges with your brother in the freaking locker room. They later got dropped, but yeah, okay. And Albright, in order to keep him quiet, they owed him a favor for what you did, Keyshawn. So here comes Top Rank. They fucking relived the night for you. They literally put you back in your hometown with your fans in order for you to rewrite your wrong. That's the performance you gave them. You didn't start fighting until like the last bit of the fight. Had you did that from the first 2 rounds, you like stop Albright. But you want to get in there and have a hug fest with him. A literal hug fest. Him and Albright, if you would play like waltzing music and just play their fight in super speed, and just be them just dancing like this, hugging each other. That's what it would look like. Until Keyshawn started fighting. You were so miserable with the fight. And the fact that they made you fight him, that Keyshawn wasn't even wise enough to recognize that they gave you a gift. You could have made everybody in Norfolk, Virginia forget that first night ever happened. Give them something to talk about. Give the mayor, the city, something to be proud and excited over. And you go and get into a hug fest. You allow this man to grab you and like that? When all you saw, all Keyshawn had to do was frame, pop, 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 and he was putting the Beats by Dre on him. When he wanted to fight, Keyshawn's so stubborn in his own ways, he couldn't even recognize what they were doing for him. That's why I don't believe in the dude. You want me to believe in a guy that tested positive for outside banned drug use, not once, but twice, while a professional, still out with the homies, blazing. Fuck your career, fuck your future. It cost you 2 fights, 2 paydays, one real big payday too. Well, it was at the time, it was pretty decent for him anyway. And then you didn't miss weight once, you missed weight twice. Then you lose your belt on the scale. Then you get charges with. That's the guy you want me to have faith in as a fan. Now I'm speaking as a fan. You mean this is the message you're sending out to all your supporters across the boxing world, Keyshawn Davis, and you want them to believe in you, but you're not doing your part as a professional. There are young kids looking up to you, saying, "Yo, I want to be the next Keyshawn Davis." What is Keyshawn doing? Well, apparently he's smoking weed. He's getting disqueued from fights. He's losing his belt on the scale. And saying that he meant to do this, he changes his name from the businessman. You ain't doing proper business. You couldn't even keep your name. You were forced to change your name because they were clowning you as the businessman, but you weren't about your business. And somehow, the boxing world's going to tell me what? Now, the day him and Devin Haney actually fight, you want me to pick who? Who? At least I know Devin Haney's a professional. You can say anything you want about Devin, Wade, Bully. What does Devin make weight? Does he make weight? Does he show up as a professional? Can you count on Devin Haney showing up? 100%. That's why I got Devin in the fight. Keyshawn, you got to show me something, my man. You got to give the fans. You can't just keep doing over and over and over, ask for chance at the chance at the chance. All of a sudden, we see Keyshawn Davis being fucking in church, being baptized. What? That's supposed to make us, oh shit, he's good now. Motherfucker, I didn't want you to be good. I want you to be yourself, but focus. I don't need you to be a goody two shoe in a sport that leads by combat. I'm not asking you to be a nice guy. I'm asking you to be a professional. There's a fucking difference, bro. You understand? And he's not a professional to me. I'm sorry. He could have all the talent in the world, but I'm telling you, you're going to put your faith in that young man. He's going to let you down again. He's going to let you down again. Until these young men know how it is to manage their lives, The biggest business you're going to need to manage is your life. Is your life. If your life is out of control and you don't manage your life, everything else will fall apart around you. Just ask AB. You could have all the talent in the world. You could have all the determination, everything. You are not going to succeed. You got to know the real word and the definition to sacrifice. That's the truth. How are you going to talk about sacrifices but make none? But you would only make sacrifices that are small. Like I'll sacrifice going to the gym at 2 so I can go at 4. That's not a sacrifice. That's not a sacrifice. Sacrifice is bring, yeah, yo, we gonna have that party tonight. On in Turks, we gonna be there. Hey, yo, hey, your favorite rapper, who's there? Movie star in the building. Why don't you come out? Can't go. Please don't. I gotta train, gotta stay focused. Matter of fact, use my number. That's a sacrifice. That's a, if you're not talking to me about boxing, teaching me something about boxing, sparring with me, doing shit about boxing, then I have nothing to talk to you about. Our interests don't line up. Fucking around with these people, right? Like Shakur Stevenson did, without them even knowing, you could put Shakur Stevenson in harm's way without even you meaning or intending. Just ask Shakur Stevenson's driver that shot Takeoff in the head. Is he in jail for murder? Shakur Stevenson went to that event with the guy that shot Takeoff in the head. They got him on camera. They got him on camera leaving the party after he shot Takeoff in the head. He killed him. He actually left, got in the car with Shakur and drove off because he was Shakur's bodyguard. Shakur had hired him to be the bodyguard. His bodyguard ended up shooting him in the head. Bro, I don't know where you're from, but that's called accessory to murder. Had I been with that guy and had said he was I'd be in jail for the rest of my life. I don't know how Shakur got out of that. I don't know. They got you aiding and abetting a shooter. What do you think Shakur had to do or say about the bodyguard? Straight up, bro, he shot him in the head, bro. What could he do? And Shakur was just going out to have a good time. Willing or non-willing, you can put that athlete or that person in a situation whether you wanted to or not. Shakur Stevenson could have got shot in the head that night. What if he took the bullet to the head? Would it make the story even better? Or do we always have to like wait until shit happens to change? Don't wait for shit to go wrong to say, you know what? I'm going to do better today. That's been one of my biggest problems. So I speak from experience on that one. I've been a bit of a procrastinator. I've been the kind of guy that pushes shit to the side. No, I'll do it later. I try to tell myself all the time now, as soon as I think like that, get the fuck up and go do it. Because now I'm going to get it done and I don't got to worry about it later. That's what I keep telling myself. And training and boxing is doing the thing you hate to do, but do it like you love it. Sacrifice. A lot of these fighters got to learn how to take and make these sacrifices in boxing. I think Shakur Stevenson needs to learn that. I think that Keyshawn Davis needs to learn that. I think a lot of young fighters, I think Shakur is more stationed where he's at now. Shakur, he's a bit more, he's getting older. He's, you don't hear about him doing stupid shit as much anymore. He still shows up to boxing events, which means he's involved in boxing. So that's good. So we know where he's at. He's either at an event or at the gym. His life evolves around boxing. Good, good. That's where we want you. We don't need you out there partying. You feel me? And I don't think that Keyshawn is there yet. That can cost young fighters. It could cost you big moments in your career. Um, and I just, I sit back and I just want to see what happens to Keyshawn Davis. You understand? I remember I made a video a long time ago, and I'm sad to report that I can honestly say I'm 50% right in my video. If you want, check it out. It's the rise and fall of Tank Davis. I made it like a year ago, maybe a little longer. It was probably a little bit, maybe it was like 2 years ago. And I said, "Are we witnessing the rise and fall of Tank Davis when he hit that girl in the car, the pregnant girl, and started getting the charges?" I was really high on Tank Davis at the time, and I had reported this, and I said, "Yo, these boxers sometimes, man, it's not even that boxing takes them out. Sometimes it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Everything on the outside of boxing." For me, being an American fighting fan, it's a lot of heartache. A lot. A lot of heartache being an American boxing fan. It really is. It's always my fighters getting fucking arrested, going to jail, fucking being on drugs, running down the street with a fucking tiger. It's always something with the American fighter, bro. I have yet to see an American fighter, a great fighter. From the beginning, you watch him as a young fighter come up, become the world champion you knew he could be, and just live out his career with any fucking roadblocks or hiccups. Nothing. Not one. And I mean, not one great American fighter I have ever witnessed. Another one. Never finished their career on a high note. Floyd went to jail. Tyson went to jail for rape. Fucking uh, Evander Holyfield, all these steroid allegations, and his brother, what his brother did. I don't even want to bring that up. Leave Evander's brother out of it. He's just a sick dude, right? And then and it's just like everybody, Camacho, fucking body, bro. All the time, man. And American fighters, man, Americans, they think by taking their fighter out to the nightclub and showing them a good time that they're getting pictures with them and they can say, "Look, I partied with the champ and we sniffed this and we did this." And, you know, no, actually, what you did was you hurt the champ. You hurt him. If you really love these fighters and you're near them, I always say this: send them home. Tell them to stay focused, stay the course. Block bullshit for them. When you see another guy telling them, "No, stay for the after party," speak up. Nah, he ain't staying for the after party. The champ is going home. You know, we need to protect our guys. I'm watching AB every day on social media, and that's just sad. It's just sad to know how good actually AB actually was. I had the privilege to actually watch him fight. The man was fucking good. Cocky, arrogant, started doing some stupid shit at the end when he got around Floyd. Floyd ruined them. I think it was too much for him. It's too much. And all those punches to the head didn't fucking help his decision making now, did it? And it's sad to see AB, man. But I think that his career is actually over. I don't like to say that about no fighter. I don't see him coming back from that. I don't know. They're like making announcements and shit, making like fight poster cards and shit. I think it's funny. It's pretty cute. They put AB versus Chris Eubank Jr. That's funny. That's funny. I'm like, yeah, right. That'll never happen. So, but it's just like, we talk about these fighters and stuff, and a lot of these fights in 2026 kicked off, and I wanted to talk about a lot of those fights and interesting fights as well. We saw like Sebastian Fundora beat the shit out of Keith Thurman, right? That was I mean, the fight actually played out the exact way I said it would. Um, it didn't surprise me. I wasn't surprised, and I'm glad when I can get fights like that right. Usually, shit happens in a fight, and we all can't be Notre Dame's. We can't possibly know, but that fight right there was probably the one I called the closest. Another fight that kicked off that was surprising this year was that Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa. That was a good fight. And then Brandon come out the ring. He slapped him, and all you saw was little Nick Ball's feet come up out the ring. He was out, right? Good fight. Good fight. I saw uh David the Monster Benavidez jump up 25 pounds. 25 pounds and stop Zuldo. That was pretty impressive. To see David do that, the way he did it, that was pretty impressive. I gotta, David, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
'Cause
Edwin.
I can
Speaking of David, how do you see a fight between David and Jai Opataya?
David and Jayo Pataya, David wipes down Jayo Pataya in the story.
Thank, thank you.
That's it. I mean, Jayo Pataya is good. He's not David the Monster Benavidez good right now. Jayo Pataya, you know what it is too, is that David is moving and he's proving that he can fluctuate. David's gonna be too fast for him. See, David grew up in lighter weight divisions, the lighter ones. His body remembers how to be fast. The fact that I had to see with my own two eyes that his power translated 25 pounds that way, it's evident. I don't question that no more. I don't question
Richard
that
wants
no
to.
more.
Yo, saludo, Nasa. Nasa's in the building. Bull Rider in the building. Richard
Hmm.
wants to know why Keyshawn is number one at 47 and he didn't fight nobody yet at 47. Richard, those trips that he took to Puerto Rico, and he was basically because he's ranked at the WBO.
Yeah, Keyshawn went to them in the WBO. Now you got to remember the history. This is why Keyshawn Davis got that ranking. Once upon a time, he was the WBO champion at 135. You have history with that organization. And in fact, that's the only organization you've ever been a champion for. So they have worked with you before. You have represented the WBO in the past. They got you the title shot. Okay. So what happens is the WBO doesn't forget business. You brought them business, you paid them sanctioning fees, so forth and so forth. Okay. All right. So because of the fact that Keyshawn Davis did by fighting Jermaine Ortiz, I don't know how he got the number one spot in the 140. But the problem is with the way the WBO justified it was Keyshawn never actually lost his belt in the ring. He lost it from a technicality. He came in overweight, and the rules say we have to strip you of our belt. But you never actually lost it in the ring. So according to the WBO, you're still kind of like a champion. You have the potential of being a star market wise. Remember, boxing is a business disguised as a sport. Business wise, Keyshawn got star status. Who else as a organization do you want your belt wrapped around? Keyshawn's not a bad person to put your belt around for any of the sanctioning bodies. So the WBO, in order to, and for boxing, because it's just the truth. If we sit back, let's look at the 140 and the 147 weight division, right? Yeah, there's been a lot of people that were already there. Like you got your Oscar Duartes, your Lindolfo Delgado, um Vargas. You got Vargas. You got guys like that that are pissed would be, pissed off because um you know, Keyshawn comes out of from 135 and jumps up to the 140. But now he jumps out of the 140. Now Dolfo Delgado becomes the number one, and he jumps up to 147. You know what I mean? Now the next person at 147, I think that, um, see, you know how they did it too, and they got away with it. You know exactly how they got away with it, right? Because I just forgot this. Is it Manny Pacquiao was the number one at 147?
Yep.
There's no problem putting Keyshawn in front of Manny Pacquiao now, is there? Manny Pacquiao is what, 900 years old? You got the next hotness? That was just an executive business move. Manny Pacquiao was actually him. I'm remembering this. He's the number one at 147 for the WBO. No wonder Keyshawn slid right in there. He had the number one spot at 140. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that nobody ever beat him for that belt, the WBO is going to work with you. They recognize your star status. It was going to be easy to slide him into that number one spot, just like they did to Ryan and Rolly. Remember when they gave George Camboza the number 3 ranking in the IBF? He never fought up there, but they put him in with Richard Hitchens, didn't they? Why? Because George Camboza had one of those belts before the IBF. He was a champion before. They've worked with you. I got to keep reminding you guys, some of these moves are not always boxing worthy. They're more geared towards boxing profit. You understand? It's like keeping the status of these fights of the fighters you want to see. If Keyshawn Davis goes to 147, they put him number 6, number 7. Does that diminish a little bit of his star status when you see him at number 7? But the instant you see him at number 1, it solidifies, yeah, he's that kind of fighter. He's at the top of the food chain, no matter where you put him, 1, 2, or 3. But by putting him number 1, you keep his star status. You put him number 7, number 8. Keyshawn's the number 8 fighter in the world. He's not that good
Hey,
to a
speaking of
casual. Gonna
speaking
happen.
speaking of speaking of rankings, what do you think about Rico entering the top 10 in the WBC rankings?
Well, he deserves it. He deserved it. Okay, Rico Verhoeven doesn't have an extensive boxing record. He hasn't beat the who's who. You really didn't have to do that in today's era when you can beat the man that beat the man that beat the man, and you beat that man. Now, all of a sudden, you got all these victories without doing any work, but just beating one guy. Terrence Crawford against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bro, Terrence Crawford, congratulations, great achievement. You beat Saul. But that doesn't mean that you were ever the best 168 pounder in the world. You didn't wipe out the division. You didn't fight all the fighters that Saul did. But mysteriously, if you just beat Saul, according to everybody, now you beat everybody on Saul's resume. Usyk, all he had to do in today's heavyweight boxing era was beat 3 guys to be considered, arguably, in some small circles, the greatest heavyweight champion to ever exist. Go figure. You mean to tell me Usyk got the name and the title of being the greatest heavyweight champion of our era by only fighting 3 guys? You fought him twice, each guy. You only fought 3 names. You fought Tyson Fury twice, AJ twice, and Dubois twice. You only beat 3 men. And Deontay Wilder. You could add Deontay Wilder into it, right? You beat Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, and AJ. 4 men. 4 men can garnish you the greatest heavyweight champion of the world? And then people jump fans. This is what they do. No. But he beat Deontay Wilder that had 40 knockouts with 40 things, and he fought these guys, and he had an incredible run, and he was undefeated for this long. And Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, beat this guy and this guy and this guy, and then Austin Bingham. Great, great. You're not gonna sell it to me by fighting 4 people, 4 actual people. You're going to tell me you're the greatest heavyweight champion in our era? You're better champion than Evander Holyfield. You're a better champion than Lennox Lewis. Shit, Mike Tyson. There is no way on God's green earth you could dress Usyk up for everything he did. You're not even close to these guys. Yes, you might have gotten all 4 belts in
Hey,
cruiserweight.
Edwin, a correction. He never
Yeah,
fought Wilder.
yeah, but Tyson Fury beat Wilder.
Yeah, but Usyk never fought Wilder. You said,
My point, okay. My point, I might have misled.
yo,
But
shout
my
out to All
point is,
Facts in the building too.
right, but my point is that he's getting credit for the man that beat the man that beat the man that beat the man. And since Tyson Fury beat Wilder, giving Usyk that, they're treating him as such. That's my point. That you can only fight 4 guys, but they're giving Usyk the credit of him beating everybody because he beat the guys that beat those guys. That's what they're giving him credit for. In actuality, Usyk, my man, you wiped down the cruiserweight. You came up to heavyweight. You fought 1 guy for 3 belts. You fought 1 guy for 3 belts, and you beat another guy for 1 belt. That's your run. And you only fought 4 big names. Well,
Hey,
not
and not to
4.
mention,
Not 4. Not
arguably,
4. He got the 3. He got the 3. But if you want to add, well, he was never a champion.
yeah, but listen, arguably, that first fight with Dubois, he technically lost that fight.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is this. No matter from what Usyk has done, to present day, he doesn't have enough in the heavyweight division to even put up an argument, good fight, to say he's the greatest heavyweight champion I've ever seen. Bro, you can't beat Lennox Lewis. I'm sorry. Usyk, you didn't have a better run than Lewis. No, you didn't.
Hey, shout out to Ryan from the
You
six.
didn't
He
even have
says,
a
ha ha
better
ha.
run than Holyfield. And Holyfield did exactly what you did. He became undisputed, unified in cruiser and in heavyweight. Right? I don't know if he got all the belts at heavyweight at that time. Evander Holyfield. I know he had a whole bunch of them little belts and shit. I gotta go check that out.
Hey, shout out to Ryan from the six. He says Usyk beat giants. Mike Tyson ain't beat nobody. 6'9".
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What is this guy talking about, Ryan, from the six? Frank Bruno was like, what was he, 6'6", 6'7"? Frank Bruno. That dude was a fucking monster of a man, right? And how tall is Lewis? How big is Lewis as a heavyweight? Lewis. Somebody look that up for me. But okay, the eras are getting bigger. That's just like, okay, Ryan from the six says something, right? And he almost said something. Almost. Almost, right? Because I will just go back in history.
Well, he said
Was
Lennox
it?
might be the best heavyweight ever. He avenged all his losses, and all
I
those
think
guys
so.
you
Well, I don't think
mentioned.
Uzyk's better than Uzyk's better than Lewis. I don't. I don't think he had a better run. I'm sorry. I don't. And then another thing is, check this out, right? Wasn't Rocky Marciano the heavyweight champion of the world? He was 180 pounds at the time. 180 pounds at 5'9". He was the heavyweight champion of the world. Throughout the years, the guys have gotten bigger. So every era, it seems like in 5 more years, the guys are going to be 8 feet tall, fighting in the heavyweight division. Shit, we got Sebastian Fundora 6'6", fighting at 154. Now, when did you ever see that in Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard's era? Men are just getting bigger throughout history. So for him to say Mike Tyson didn't fight no guys that Usyk is fighting, brother, you didn't say anything. You got to dominate in your era, no matter
He said
what's
Rocky
going
didn't
on.
beat any guy 6'9".
Who? What do you say?
Rocky didn't beat anybody, any guy 6'9".
Hell no. Hell no. Rocky didn't beat nobody that big. Yeah, George Wong Clark. I'm fucking up his name. Um, Joe.
He's saying that his point is that Uzyk's not that big. Shout out to we were work hard chill. He said Knicks might lose. Brunson was has been injured.
Okay, check it out. Wait. Wrong again. Wrong again. Usyk is actually pretty a decent size for heavyweight. Now, if you was to say Richard Torres wasn't that big for heavyweight, now I would agree. But he's not the smallest heavyweight. Don't stop playing me a violin for fucking Usyk being a small guy. Because he's not small. He's not that small. As far as the heavyweights of today's standard, he's not the smallest heavyweight in boxing. No, he's like in the middle tier. And he's not that far off the rest of these guys. If Usyk is 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", that's what Usyk is. And these dudes on average are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Brother, from 6'4", you're only 4 to 5 inches away. It's not like you're fucking Richard Torres.
He says pull up the box track round one. Usyk has been outweighed almost every fight. You will see he usually outweighed by 20 pounds.
Okay, once again, almost said something. Almost. You're like right there. Like literally right there. One of these times, you're going to say something. I'm going to go, you know what? You're right. But not in this instant either. The reason why after 225 pounds, the heavyweight division doesn't cut weight, because after a certain size and a certain amount of force blunt trauma, no matter how big you are, you're going out. It's not like you could put on 300 pounds and become more harder to knock out.
You said you got cooked.
You understand? You understand? It's not like it's not like it's not like after the like okay, for instance, when Dubois fought against Big Baby Miller, Miller came in 100 pounds over Dubois. He was 98 pounds to be exact, heavier than Dubois. If by his logic, he said Usyk fighting guys 25 pounds heavier than him, then Miller should have been able to knock Dubois out of the ring with one punch by what he's saying, because the guys are so much heavier. After a certain limit, the human body, that's why we have it regulated sports. 225, 220. After that, you could be 400 pounds. You could be Butterbean. It's not going to matter. Butterbean gets knocked out just like any guy, 270, 280, 250. It's not going to matter. That's
He
why they
said
don't make that way. That's why they don't make heavyweight fighters cut weight. Because you don't got to make a weight restriction. You don't let all the fluids out of your body. Now it's just about conditioning. If you're 275 and you can move good in your body, well, then that's your weight. The other guy will come in 230. He'll be lighter, better to move. But if that was true, everybody should have knocked out little Mike Tyson's ass when in his prime. If it was true that the bigger man, like you're giving Usyk so much credit, oh my God, he fought guys so much bigger than him. No, he fought
hey, he
guys in his
said
division. He fought guys in his division. In his division, if there's no weight restriction, then why are you bringing up weight in a division that doesn't have weight restriction? That's what you signed up for. So don't give me this shit. He's 40 or 30 or 50 pounds heavier. I mean, that's the position you signed up for. You knew the rules. It's not like he's coming in heavier to beat you. You don't got weight. That is the rules in your division. So if the rules say there's no weight restriction, the fuck are you bringing up weight for? Tell that to me again and tell me how you cooked me. Say that again.
he said ha ha ha. Already said something. Even Rico outweighed Usyk. Look back in history. Ali didn't fight guys 60 pounds bigger than him. That's cap. Ha ha ha. Carcast. Shout out to
Wrong,
Carcast.
wrong, wrong, wrong. In that era of boxing, a lot of the rules were still getting fucking put together. They didn't even have all the weight divisions they had then. Like they have
He
it structurally sound now. You can't argue about a guy coming in 30, 40 pounds heavier than you when you fight in a weight division does not have a weight restriction. How can you bring up the weight problem if that's the rules? You can come in 900 pounds. Long as you make the fight, we got ourselves a fight. You don't
hey,
have a weight restriction. You can't bring up weight. You
yo,
don't
shout
got
out.
weight. Fuck out of here, bro.
Yo, shout out to
Guys are
Joshua. He
crazy.
said, shout out to Joshua. He said, bring Bang back. Yo, put up the poster for our boy Boogie. He missing.
Somebody want me to drop the link? Where they at?
Yeah, that's Carcast. That's Chicago Kills.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck. Fucking Chicago kills. The link button, it doesn't work anymore. I forgot what happened to it.
hey,
It's
Ryan says all his contemporaries beat the crap out of Mike. Just say
what,
you don't respect greatness.
what you mean? Oh, Mike's contemporaries? Nobody beat up Mike Tyson.
Joshua said you should apologize to Bang. Facts. Whatever that
Yo,
means. Apologize for what? I don't know, but
yo, check it out.
Ryan,
Check it out. Check it out. There's nobody beat up Mike Tyson, not the real Mike Tyson anyway. Everybody beat up this cocaine induced alcohol addict version of Mike Tyson. Yeah, they beat up that guy. Yeah, I know they beat up that guy. I saw that. But Mike with Cuss, nobody beat that Mike. Lennox Lewis, don't let him lie to you. Mike had to pay Lennox because he tried to avoid Lennox, and Lennox was his mandatory. Mike did pay him money. Mike was in a bad position in his life. He was too busy banging prostitutes and sniffing lines. He couldn't beat Lennox at that point. He no longer had Cuss. Cus Amato would have stood alive. Nobody beats Mike. None of them guys. Lennox doesn't beat him. Lennox Lewis avoided Mike through all the amateurs and all that for a reason. For a reason. Um, he knew he couldn't beat Mike then. You needed Mike to fall off the wagon to attack him. Evander Holyfield fought him at the end. Lennox fought him at the end. All Mike's losses came at the end after he came out of jail. Once Mike got ran through by fucking Evan Givens, that fucking whore, right? And the other girl put the charges on Mike Tyson, and he was charged for that crime, and he went to jail. I don't know if he did it or not. I wasn't in the hotel room, but after that version of Mike Tyson, yeah, he lost. That version of Mike lost. He lost to all those
Yo,
dudes,
what's the
but not
reward
Cuss's.
what's the reward if we find if somebody finds Boogie?
100 cans of tuna cans. 100 cans of tuna cans. Please bring his safe return back. But yo, check this out, right? I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, Uzyk's not that big. I'm small. See, the argument here is that he's saying that Usyk did all this remarkable shit because he was so small. That you got to give him all this credit because he was smaller. Well, in fact, who
The 4 year window, Mike Tyson didn't fight those guys. Hey, don't lie on Lennox round one. My dad and Lennox were teammates on the Canadian team. Don't lie,
Yeah,
man.
I know he was, right? And I know Lennox is a bit of a liar himself. So I don't believe everything Lennox say because there's been a lot of interviews where Lennox Lewis himself has been caught in fucking lying. Talk about fights that he never was gonna make. And I'm not lying on Lennox Lewis because and not unless Lennox himself is lying. Go back and watch the interview that Lennox Lewis himself conducted. And I'm just going off by what Lennox Lewis said. Okay. Lennox Lewis's coach, the same dude that Emmanuel Stewart, that coached all these big fighters. Emmanuel Stewart even said it. I'm not. Lennox ain't fighting Tyson right now. They wouldn't let Tyson, Lennox Lewis, fight Mike Tyson back then. And I really don't care what anybody else says because I know what Emmanuel Stewart said and I know what Lennox Lewis said out of his own mouth. So I'm gonna go by what they said. If if you excuse me, I know there was a time Lennox Lewis wasn't ready for Mike. Then everybody attacked Mike. Cocaine addict, addicted Mike. Yeah, you could beat that version of Mike. He wasn't training. The night before one of the fights, I remember Mike Tyson came out. I think it was the night before the Lennox Lewis fight. He was up in a hotel room. And the people that were there to this day tell the story. They're like, Mike, you're about to fight Lennox Lewis tomorrow. Mike's up all night doing coke with them. And they told the story. So yeah, you can beat that version of Mike, Lennox Lewis. I never gave you full credit for being Mike. No, you didn't beat the best version of Mike. Nah, Lennox. Nah, you didn't beat the best version.
Yo,
Then
drop the link for Jason for Ryan.
when I saw, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Riddick Bowe? Not Riddick Bowe. Who the one that knocked out fucking Lennox Lewis with that one punch? Rockman. Rockman. Rockman went like this. And Lennox Lewis went. He was like this. Yo, he was like, what the hell is this? You. Lennox Lewis underestimated Rockman, bro. He really did. Um, but I don't think he would have beat young Mike. Nah, not Lewis. Not young Mike. No. I
Nah,
don't think
young
a
Mike
lot of
was a
people would.
dog.
No, I don't think a lot of people would have not beat me. With Mike with Cuss next by his side, that I would have to see to
Yo,
believe. That's
Ryan,
something I would
Ryan,
have to
Ryan.
see
We
to
that
believe it.
sparring shit, that's for boxers to get better. Who cares if you get beat in sparring, you get knocked down in sparring?
Why? What do you say about sparring?
He said, bro, Lewis used to cook Mike in sparring all the time.
He used to cook Mike in sparring. I believe that. I believe that in certain sense, in certain circles. Um, I remember one time Mike Tyson himself saying that Lennox Lewis gave him a lot of problems in sparring. I do remember that. I do remember Mike saying that. Um, yeah, I do remember that. I do remember Mike saying that out of his own mouth in an interview somewhere. But that I do remember. I can be honest and say that
Yeah,
he
but
gave.
sparring
But
doesn't always translate
there's
to a
only one
fight, though.
problem. Yeah, but there's only one problem with it. The one thing I can't remember, and I wanna say it so bad, but I'm not gonna add anything. I don't know what the time frame was. When did he start sparring Lennox Lewis? Because when Mike used to live in Clifford's house and Mike fought like 17 times in 1 year, tell Lewis to spar him then. Spar him during that time. Spar young Mike during that time. Fight Mike when Mike was Mike, like the real version of Mike Tyson, right? And I still think he didn't get all his training because Cuss died before he could mold Mike into that, you know, superior fighter. I think everything that Cuss taught him carried Mike throughout his career like that. I still think Lennox Lewis is the best heavyweight champion of the world. I still think Lewis is the best. I just don't think he beats young Mike. But I don't think Mike can fuck with Lewis when it comes to resume the way Lewis did it. I don't think there was a better heavyweight fighter than Lennox Lewis. No. I think Lennox Lewis had the best jab for a heavyweight. I think he moved like the best. But you see, it was tough in our era. During our time, we had real heavyweight champions, real heavyweight fighters to judge Lewis from. He was going up against Evander Holyfield, fucking all of them young dudes, bro. Listen, the Riddick Bowes, the fucking um man, I'm missing everybody in my fucking head right now. There was just so much Razor Ruddicks, the Tuas, Ikagabuchis. I mean, you're talking about a heavyweight era that was right in competition for for me to view Lennox Lewis as the best heavyweight champion of that entire era. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot for me because I had to admit he was he ended anyway. Never what I feel about Mike Tyson. He ended better than Mike. He ended better than Lewis. He ended it better than a lot of the. Yeah, he got his losses, whatever, Lewis. But stylistically, as that size of a man, Lewis, nah, bro. There hasn't that I can remember. There hasn't been a more complete, put together heavyweight champion in all aspects than Lewis. No, I don't. Except Ali. Like Ali in his time, Ali was like ahead of the curve. See, Lewis wasn't ahead of his time. He was just the best in his time. There's a difference. Ali was ahead of his time. He was ahead of the curve. That's a different kind of talent. Lewis was never that. He was just the best in his era. I believe. I believe that he, respectfully so, Lewis deserves that. I don't think that Tyson Fury did enough to beat him, the Gypsy King. Like, to beat out Lennox Lewis. I just don't see it. I don't see Usyk beating out Lennox Lewis. I don't see Usyk beating out fucking Evander Holyfield.
He said, "I never said Usyk was better than Lennox. LOL. I just said
That's
he
what
was
you
better
said,
than
Ryan,
Mike."
from the six. The whole thing. That's exactly what you said.
He said, "I just said he was better than Mike. Mike never had a Usyk run." Bobo says
Mike, no,
Edwin's
no,
tweaking.
no, no. Mike never had it like, okay, that's fucked up. Fuck you. All right? right? Okay. Uh,
And then
Mike
while you
had a
get your thought
decent run.
together,
No, Mike had a decent no. Fuck Ryan for the six, right? Because he kind of got me on that one, right? Because you gotta give Usyk the credibility that he did fight AJ for 3 belts. He did beat the Gypsy King. And then he beat like the number one fucking Dubois type dude, whatever you wanna. And then the next time he beat Dubois was actually a champion. So now you gotta give him credit for that. You got to give Usyk credit for that because it's what's on paper. It's not what I feel. It's just not. I gotta say what's on paper too. So he might have not had the run. Fuck you, all right? All right, Mike's the best fighter in the world, all right? All right, listen, all right,
hey,
and I win.
hey, yo, shout out to Caribe Boxing. Joshua says free boogie.
I think Joshua is Boogie. You know what I mean? What the hell is he asking for Boogie so goddamn much?
Yo,
No, 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 no.
shout out to Johnny. He says enjoying the show. Salute.
Salute, brother.
Um,
Yo, go ahead, read the chats.
Ry- Ryan said Lennox is the best heavyweight to me personally. Yo,
I
Ryan,
think
click
he
the link.
is.
Come up, chop it up
I
with
think,
Edwin.
I think Ryan. Yo, Ryan.
Let's get a
I
round
fucking
one
love
crash
Ryan.
out here
Ryan's my
on his
dude.
own show. Come on,
Ryan's my
Ryan.
dude.
Let's get a round one crash out right here on his own show.
No, you're not. You're not. No, I'm not letting him on. Oh shit! I got Chicago Kills in the background, just chilling. He just put up his camera. Oh my god! Here comes Chicago Kills. All right, listen. Here
Yo,
Yo,
he is.
Richard says
In
Usyk no le ganaba a ninguno de esos caballos. He said that
no,
Usyk would
no,
never beat none of those horses,
no. See,
but
that's my problem. That's my fucking
and
problem
then
right there with Ryan with the
and then
six too.
he also said
When he
cuando Mike Tyson puso a Douglas en la lona, el referee se tardó en contar.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
said
it
that
was
when
past 10. It was past 10
yeah,
because Mike Tyson
there you
did
go.
knock out Buster Douglas. They fucking helped Buster Douglas. But that's what I'm saying. See, Ryan from the six is trying to tell you guys that Usyk is this little heavyweight and that he's so phenomenal and he's the fucking best thing since sliced bread. And I'm saying, okay, he's good, but he's the greatest heavyweight that fucking ever lived. Like a lot of people, not Ryan from the Six is saying this, a lot of other people saying this. But what Ryan from the Six is actually trying to say is that Usyk, what you're trying to say that he's so good that he would survive in Mike Tyson's era, in
hell
Lennox
no.
Lewis's era?
Hell no.
Fuck out of here, bro. Lennox Lewis and the Holyfield, all them dudes, they would fucking put Usyk through the ringer.
Who said
Hey,
I'm not
Usyk?
sure if he becomes champion.
George Foreman to put him out his misery.
Yo, George Foreman would put fucking Usyk's jaw in the fucking
Tommy
bleachers.
Morrison. Hey, can you hear me? Where I want?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Tommy
Tommy
Morrison would
Morrison?
beat
You
up
think
me and
Tommy
you
Gunn?
said Tommy Gunn,
Damn.
baby.
Tommy
Hey
Gunn
man,
fights Usyk?
what's up with y'all? How y'all been? I just I
I'm
mean
good. I'm good.
Chicago, what up, huh?
what's good, man? I just want to shout out Chicago being the craziest city in the whole world. We the best.
Here we go.
Wrong, baby. No, hey man, I had to come on here because listening to Ryan from the Six, he just sounds like a little Ness nut gripper. You know what I mean? And
Nah,
Ness said
Ryan's
all
my
these.
boy.
It's just
Don't talk
weird. It's
about Ryan
weird.
from the six like that.
It's
My
weird
boy.
though. He's a weird guy from
No, he's
Canada. You
not a
know what I mean?
weirdo. Ryan from the six
I don't know,
was a
man.
fucking well-educated boxing dude.
I don't think
Him and
so
his
though.
family, they good people. They good people.
Look,
But
look.
me and Ryan, we go back and forth. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not.
We
It's
we
not
got a
that. It's
history.
yeah.
We
It's
got
not
a
that
his. Me and
hard
Ryan got a
though.
history. We can argue like that because we're boxing
Yeah, yeah.
brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look,
Yeah. Now
man.
I
Like
fuck with Ryan.
boxing,
Man, like Ryan is good money. No matter where Ryan from the six,
I don't
Ryan good
know.
money with me. He's good money.
I think he's awkward and shy. You know what I mean? He just looks
Nah,
like he's
nah, nah,
awkward and
nah, nah.
shy,
He's just
shy
patient
guy.
and
You know what I
calculated. Ryan's just patient
mean?
and calculated. He'll let you talk and let
But
you
that's
hang yourself
boring.
and then fucking come
It's
get you.
boring though.
You know what I mean? He
But
does.
it's not like okay. So with Usyk, the thing with Usyk is that he's a boring fighter. He's boring. You know, boxing we want to be excited, and he falls in the category where like Haney and Shakur. They're it's like it's boring to watch. Nobody really wants to pay for it. Nobody cares about it, right? We want to see knockouts. We want to see heart. We want to see blood. We want to see guts. And Tyson, Tyson had to go to jail. Tyson had to go through all his trials and tribulations and Lennox fought him and beat him. But Lennox got knocked the fuck out. You got to remember that he got knocked out in the first or second round, right? So we can't forget that. Hey, Ron, can you hear me? Am I still on?
Yeah, but you're
You
breaking up
choppy.
real bad, real bad. Yeah, Uzi
That
packed up
that's
Bruno
that Chicago. That's that
Rodman.
Chicago internet.
That's the Chicago internet. Oh my goodness. Only guys beating Usyk would be Lennox,
I'm gonna have to
maybe
call back. I'm
Prime
gonna have to-
Tyson. But you don't the skill gap in Holyfield. No, y'all
He's
dismissing the skill
here.
gap in Holyfield. Holyfield, I think, beats Usyk, bro. I don't know which way you were going with that, Ryan, but I think I like Holyfield, man. He was just a fucking muscle that just can fight, right? He was a specimen, man. Evander Holyfield. He fought like you would think in the Drago Rocky movies they look like. He actually fought in real life like that style. Evander Holyfield. He would fucking and don't forget, Evander was just as fast. Evander was Ryan. Evander rocked down in the cruiserweight. And one thing, Ryan from the six, I hope you never say this. I hope you never say this because I will argue to the end with you on this one. Usyk's not a better cruiserweight than Evander Holyfield. Usyk didn't have a better run than Evander Holyfield. And then Evander Holyfield became heavyweight champion. I'm not sure if Usyk's better than. I don't know which way you were going with that, but I would please. Holyfield got what?
He got dog. He
He's
might
my.
be able to outdog Usyk. Shout out to Champion
Oh,
Sports
yo,
in the
dog. Yeah,
building.
dog like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And a lot of D's and G's in there. It fucks up my eyes, Ryan. You know how my eyes are bad. Facts, right? Yeah, I think he might outdog Usyk. That I would have to see. Evander Holyfield was just a specimen of a fighter, a man. Yeah, he threw punches and bunches, volume. He punched hard, man. And he's been hit by fighters like Mike Tyson and George Foreman. So Evander Holyfield's chin, you see what George Foreman was doing to people. You see what he did to Michael what's his name there? The young kid that was a champion, George Foreman. Yo, he made it look simple. It looks like he's not even throwing a lot of torque. He just goes, and the guy goes down, bro. The dude just goes down, man. And Evander Holyfield stood up to all those shots. He's got a good beard, man. I'm not sure if Usyk got that kind of pop. That Mike Tyson pop, that George Foreman pop. Like, I got to admit, Evander Holyfield took those punches all night. And then those wars that he went with Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was another fucking heavyweight. Riddick Bowe, he had a short era, Riddick Bowe. It was a small little era. But I gotta admit, Riddick Bowe was nice. You think Usyk can beat a prime Riddick Bowe? Remember Riddick Bowe was going to the jail to go see Mike Tyson to give him advice to fight Evander Holyfield? You know what I'm saying? There was and then Razor Ruddock, man, that dude was fucking fast, bro. For him, Tua, Tua, that little fucking dude. Every time he threw a punch, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I just knew he was gonna knock the dude out. He was just like a mini version of Mike Tyson, Tua, and he wasn't even the real Mike. I would have loved to see that fight, Tua versus Mike Tyson. Why that never happened? Yo, that would have been a fucking crazy. Yo, the heavyweight era back then. I'm not, and I'm just being honest. I'm being honest, Ryan. I'm not sure if Usyk survives back then. And Mike Tyson was the undisputed champion back then. You understand? Mike Tyson was in the era with these guys, and he was undisputed. Then later on, when all that shit came out, and then fucking Lennox Lewis finally threw his name in the hat and the thing, and he was serious about pursuing championships. Remember, Lewis, he was doing his thing behind the scenes of Mike while Mike was going through his fucking situation. Once Mike went to jail, you know what I'm saying? The 2 years, and Mike was really never the same now, was he? Right? Yeah, I can't say that that was like the real version of Mike Tyson. Nah. Then he started dating Robin Givens. All of a sudden, you see Mike Tyson showing up to fight with hair patches missing from his head. Remember that era, right? Fucking Mike Tyson had a patch of hair. That was stress. That was stress. That's how he was training, stressed the fuck out. Robin Givens had him all fucked up. Mike Tyson was losing his hair in patches. You're not gonna tell me that Lennox Lewis beat a prime version of Mike? Nah, nah. I'm not sure I will believe that. Now, as far as where they ended up, it hurts me to say it, but you got to give it to Lennox Lewis. You got to. I mean, I would like to say Mike Tyson was the best back then. He fell short. And Ryan from the Six is right. He didn't have that run. Fucking sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what I fucking always
Yo,
mean about American
E-
fighters, man.
Edwin, I don't mean to
That's what I mean.
change the
Yep.
conversation, but
Yep.
did you know that this Saturday we got in Japan a big fight card? Like
What?
big. You got Yabuki versus Calixto, Japan versus Mexico. You
Yep.
got Willivaldo Garcia versus Andrew Maloney,
Those
Mexico
fights
versus
are out
Australia.
in Japan, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. 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 That's a
You get
good card.
you got Luis Pantera Neri against Casemiro.
Oh, that's
It's
going to
all
be a
on that
good one.
card. That's a big fucking card,
That's a
bro.
big
It's
card.
stacked.
So you got Maloney and Luis Pantera Nari and John Casamela and all those, they're all on the same card, right? That's
Yep.
going to be a great card. We can watch that card out there in Japan. We have to watch that. With Ryan from the Six says, how was it? Home case. Usyk would
But
win.
with head case,
The,
Usyk would win the mental battle in the ring. Ryan from the Six. So on that card, you got here you got
was he a
Yabuki
head case
versus
like that?
Calixto. That's the main event. Then you got Willivaldo Garcia against Andrew Maloney, Kenneth Lover versus Michael Angeletti. You got Luis Pantera Nari versus John Casamero. You got Yokoyama versus Paras. Meguro versus Dayushebev, Bayev, I guess. And then you got Oka against Kashkin Bekov, whoever that is. But the
Yo,
ones I'm interested in would be the Neri versus Casemiro.
oh, I gotta see that. I gotta see
Um,
Casemiro versus Neri. I got to.
I like to see how Michael Angeletti does. I haven't seen him in a while.
No, listen, John Casemiro, he's got to back up some of that shit talking. Now that's the Philippines versus Mexico. They're up. You know, there's gonna be a lot like Japan versus Australia with Maloney brother. Australia's up on that night. A lot of countries are gonna be doing battle back and forth. As far as Ryan's thing here with Bo, let me just answer that before we move on to the rest of this stuff. Now that I'm thinking back at it, you might be right. He was a head case. Uh, he was going to visit Mike Tyson and asking for advice. He did get emotional on a lot of platforms. He tried attacking dudes in the ring too. He couldn't. He didn't know how to keep his composure, his mental part. He would wear his emotions on his sleeve, so to speak, really bold. So Ryan might be right about that. He probably Usyk could probably get in his head. Usyk's a jokester. He's a jokester, but a bit of a philosopher. I'm gonna fuck it up. Say the word.
Philosopher.
Yes, the Usyk, meaning he's a think guy. He might not know how to speak English the best to translate what he's trying to express, Usyk, but you can tell he's a smart man. He's a very smart man. He probably would have exposed Riddick Bowe for the mental weakness that he has. You're probably right, Ryan. You're probably right. He probably would have got it in his head. Um, there were a few times that I'm thinking back at Riddick Bowe's career. I remember one video he had like his daughters, and he came out in a suit with like his daughter's pictures all over it. That fight right there in the post fight conference, he lost it. He lost it leading into that fight. He didn't, and then I think he retired, in fact, because he couldn't keep it together mentally. Yeah. So that's a good observation right there. Usyk probably would have beat him. Good talent, Riddick Bowe. Good fighter. Great fighter. Just didn't stick around a long time now, did he? You know? Um, yeah, man, there was a lot of there was a fighter by the name of Ken Norton Jr. before Ali. I'm not sure, Ryan, if you know back then. I'm really sure. Like I didn't even see him fight. I saw him on videos when I grew up, but I appreciate it. Fighters like Ken Norton Jr. Ken Norton Jr. like that. Fighters like I think would have gave Usyk a good fight. Another guy that fought George Foreman, the Ronnie Loud. Ronnie Loud, I think would have fucked up Usyk. He punched too strong. Bro, and Ronnie Loud and them, man, they were going on. They could fight 15 rounds type shit. They fought 12 rounds, but still, they were conditioned. Those guys were just different. They were real different. See, Ronnie Loud, I think, you take Ronnie Loud back then that fought George Foreman, I swear to God, and you put him in the ring with Rico Verhoeven there, Ronnie Loud stops Rico Verhoeven. George Foreman stops Rico. All them dudes back then, they all stopped Rico. That's why I don't see Usyk that fucking like this fucking. I mean,
Hey,
I acknowledge his
Ryan.
skills. Yeah, for
Ryan
his
wants to
era.
know.
Yes,
He wants to know. Do you think Bam beats Antonio Vargas easy? I'm not gonna say easy. I think Antonio Vargas is gonna give Bam a run for his money
he might.
until
Remember, Bam is moving up, Ryan. Bam's moving up. He's not fighting. Vargas is not fighting Bam for his belt. Bam's fighting him for his belt.
right.
Tricky situation, Ryan. When we see this happen so much in boxing, you automatically start to assume that just because he did it, I can do it. That's not so. That's not so. Until he gets past that initial test in the new weight division, we're going to be able to tell and see. Eye test. How does he move? Is his speed still there? Is his power still there? It's kind of tricky, Ryan, for me to stamp the guy because of what he did in his last weight division. Boxing taught me that firsthand. Firsthand. I've seen guys dominated in one weight division, make one weight jump and get destroyed. I saw Nonito Donaire go up that next weight division. He was maxed out.
Now, Ryan, if you would have asked, do we think Bam beats Naoya Inoue easy? The answer would have
Shut
been
up.
yes
Yeah,
immediately.
no, that is a
Yes.
bullfake line. Front line.
I would have said
You're about to get
yes.
thrown off the show. Listen, front line. Leap out with outburst. That's going on your permanent record, front line. That is going on your permanent record. I'm writing that down.
Bam
The
beats
disrespect is
Inoue
real.
easy.
No, Ryan. In a good world, I hope he knocks the fuck out of fucking Vargas. I hope Bam Rodriguez goes up there and starches this dude. I hope he starches him, walks off with his belt, and makes it look fucking easy. Why? It's gonna give that much credibility to the Naoya Inoue fight. Because Ed Hearn's already talking about it. It's all over social media. I haven't reported it yet. Because I'm on the line that you gotta get fast. You gotta get past the guy that's in front of you. I'm not on no
Stop the bullshit, Edwin. Stop the bullshit. Because had that been Naoya Inoue, you
shut
would
up.
have said, you would have said, "Oh,
I didn't
you're
do it
looking
for
past
him,
an
so you're
appointment."
lying.
Yes, the
I didn't
fuck you
do it for
did.
him, so you're lying. Because when they try to do that for Naoya anyway, I backed the song up and focused on the guy that was in front of him. So I didn't
Play,
even do
play,
it for him,
play,
so
play
you're
the
lying.
violin for me. Play the
So you're
violin. Play the
lying.
violin for me. Now say what
You're
you were saying.
lying.
Now
You're
say what you.
lying. I I'm talking about Naoya in a way. All right? You're just a liar. Listen, look, the thing is that I really want Bam to have a great performance against Vargas. Because eventually we're gonna need someone to challenge Naoya Inoue. Okay? I like Naoya Inoue, fucking love him. I think he's one of the greatest fighters of our era. I think he's pound for pound. I think he's the best boxer we have today. But I love competition even more than I love Naoya Inoue. I need somebody to step up and fight him. I can't have him go his entire career barely being challenged. Yeah, he
So
got
have
his
him fight
orbital bone.
Shushu. Why he
He
won't
got
take a
his
Shushu
orbital bone
fight?
broken. Hold on. He got his orbital bone broken in a fight. He got knocked down twice. That's not good enough for me. I need somebody to really scare or beat him. You know, I'm not on that shit that I'm always on the side of. I always want my guy to win. At some point, I need somebody to bring the best fighter out of him. Junto did that for me. It was there. It was there. But Junto wasn't engaging as much. He wasn't taking as much chances as Naoya Inoue was in the fight. Junto, he felt Naoya Inoue's power. In fact, Naoya Inoue shattered and fractured his orbital bone, I think like in the 11th, ninth round. He cracked Junto's orbital bone. So he had to go get surgery after the fight. Junto. So that's how hard Naoya Inoue punches, right? So
No,
even
because
though
he
I think
already
he's
had that
great,
eye injured from the previous fight.
oh shut up, stop lying. It was the obviously it was the opposite eye.
It was
So
actually the headbutt that fucking Inoue gave
you
Junto.
just the lies front line. But anyway, but I need somebody to fight Naoya Inoue. I need it. The only person I see because Bruce Carrington is hiding under the bed in 126. Naoya Inoue drove by 126 and Bruce Carrington almost vacated the belt. Just the rumor of him coming by, he almost vacated the belt.
Shushu,
So, so,
the
so,
Heartbreaker, Leo,
ah,
Angelo
ah,
Leo, and
ah.
Espinoza are all waiting with open arms
The
for
only
Inoue
guy
to
in
say, "I'm going to
126,
26."
the only guy in 126 that worries me is Espinoza. That's the only guy. I think that Ray Moritaya's well, not Raymond Moritaya. What am I talking about? Leo Santa Cruz, Leo, Angelo Leo. His style of fighting caters right into Naoya Inoue style. He's gonna
Figueroa's
get
gonna do him like he did
he's
Nick
gonna get
Paul.
brutally knocked out. Figueroa is too he's too flawed as a fighter. He has to get close to his fighter to have success. Naoya Inoue is never going to allow him to get close like that. And by the time he actually lets Figueroa into the door, it's going to be a trap. It's going to be vicious body shots with vicious uppercuts and shots, and Figueroa ain't going to last long. He's going to, Figueroa, his style will be his own undoing to a fighter like Naoya Inoue. He ain't going to nowhere against Naoya Inoue. Bruce Carrington is the hardest puncher out of all of them, right? But he's not the fastest by far. And um his Bruce Carrington's style, he takes too many breaks in between rounds to like breathe and think. You can't do that with Naoya Inoue. He's gonna have so much pressure on you. You're gonna end up like all the fighters that got in the ring against Naoya Inoue. They went in there with a game plan. They went in there with confidence, and soon they were just trying to survive. They had forgot the game plan. They were just reacting, and that's how I see the Bruce Carrington fight. If I'm being honest, I don't think that Bruce Carrington can would possess now. Can Karen land a punch and hurt Naoya in a way? Yes. If that was to happen and he was to ever clip Naoya in a way or put him down, my best advice to Bruce Carrington, there's your moment. There's no 12 rounds. There's no nothing. It's either you unload and dump everything you have and take the chance to try to finish him, or if you let him off the hook, that's your ass. If you hurt Naoya Inoue and you put him down, he turns into another fighter when he gets up. You can't let him do that. So if he ever got that lucky, don't think about, oh, I gotta find some energy for the rest of the fight. There is no rest of the fight. The minute if he survives your onslaught, you lost. If he doesn't, you win. There it is, right there. That would be your moment. If you can't finish him, you lost the fight, homeboy. If you can, you just won the
Hey,
biggest fight of your life.
cut creator got a question for you.
Yeah.
He says, "How can you?" I can't even read it because I'm gonna laugh the whole fucking time.
How can you take too many breaks between your rounds? You only get 1 minute.
Yo, that's because you said that, Edwin. That's why I get.
Listen, you want me to play Bruce Carrington footage? Like his fucking highlights? I'm gonna get fucking flagged again. Shut up, frontline. I'm muting your mic. That's it. That's it. You're muted. No more hearing him laugh. Right? Check it out. We're not going to let's see if he's still laughing back there. He's still laughing back there. We can hear you now, frontline. Okay, listen. See, you laugher messaged me up. What were we talking about?
The minute break.
That's it. Mike's muted. Yo, nah, when Bruce Carrington was fighting that last dude that he beat for the belt, the Mexican dude that had him in all kinds of trouble, Castillo, Castillo, right? Castro, his name's Castro, some shit, Castillo, some shit like that. Bruce Carrington was standing in front of him, just going like this, taking a break in the round. And he was breathing, thinking, and he would move around him, but there's no action, no punches being thrown. And sometimes when a fighter throws a lot of punches in between rounds, the next round, the coach says, take the round off. He goes out there, he'll do boxing shit, but what he's trying to do is recharge the battery, and then fight again. Kind of like what Ryan Garcia did with Devin Haney. If Ryan Garcia was really in shape, he would have finished Devin Haney. What kept Devin Haney in the fight was Ryan Garcia. Too much time in between rounds. You didn't do shit. You did nothing. So Bruce Karen fights exactly that way. He thinks in his head that in every fight, there's going to be a moment in the round where you can just take a break, or after that combination, take a breather. That's what Stephen Kubo Fulton thought he could do against the Japanese dude. And Naoya Inoue didn't let him breathe. Every second of the fight, Naoya Inoue was in Stephen Kubo Fulton's face. Boom, boom, boom. And Stephen was just circling. He was trying to think, like, damn, this dude is fast. How the fuck am I going to? And Naoya Inoue kept disrupting that. Soon he put him on the back foot, and Stephen was trying to survive. He's trying to survive. He's trying to like fight Naoya Inoue off, but he's no longer initiating his own game plan. No longer in the fight. He's just surviving, reacting. That's exactly what I think Bruce Carrington would be doing. It's exactly. Now, I want to turn on Mike Frontline's mic. You're on my Frontline, right? But I'm going to tell you this right now, right? Punch wise, Bruce Karen got more power than Stephen Kubo Fulton. But skill wise, I think Stephen Kubo Fulton's the more skilled boxer. He's better. He looks better through it. The way boxing's supposed to be. Stephen Kubo Fulton's footwork and his upper body is better flowing. But for some reason, Bruce Carring's combos are better than Scooter's. Scooter's the better boxer, but I don't know why he can't put his punches better together. When when Bruce Carrington has you and he decided to throw off a four piece, it's pretty accurate. It looks sharper than what he was fighting earlier in the round, and it looks fucking solid. It's like boom, pop, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, Bruce Carrington, he could like lull you to sleep kind of with his style now, couldn't he? Right? He's doing this. He's going like this with the jab. He's spreading his feet 1 second. He's got his feet in close another second. Bruce Karen. Then all of a sudden, we go to exchange with him, and this motherfucker he just turns into a real sharp fighter. It's like, like, why the fuck you didn't do that earlier? Like, his style can lull you to sleep a little. Bruce Carrington's, it can mislead you in a sense. You don't think he's as good as he is. You understand? I thought that fight he fought against the Mexican dude. I seen the Mexican dude wobble him. He hit him. Boom. Bruce Carrington started doing the snaky leg. He was like wobbled, and then out of nowhere, he just got sharp. He went down.
See,
Homeboy went down.
see, people agree. Shushu will sleep anyway.
Stop it.
Hey, I'm not the only one that said it. Read it. Read it for yourself. Read the last comment right there.
I see it.
Well, you deleted that.
What?
I think Shushu got to move up. I don't know. how he's been making that weight so long. Says Ryan from the 6. Um, I was gonna answer. Bulbos asked me if I
Castro
watch. I don't.
beats Floyd's bum ass.
I don't watch wrestling. Bulbos. Um, no. Chicago's talking to Ryan. They going
I
at it. I
think
don't know
Shoo
why.
Shoo got to
Chicago be
move up.
wilding.
I don't know how he's been making that weight so long. Ryan from the 6. Yo, me neither. I think he's been killing himself because of the payday that's coming up. Nick Ball fucked around and lost his belt. He lost the Naoya Inoue sweepstakes fights. And Naoya Inoue himself announced that he's ready to make the move to 126 now. That before he got dropped, he wasn't so sure. But after this fight with Junto, he says he's ready. So
Nah,
Ed
his father
Hearn
don't
is
feel
trying
he
to get
ready.
him.
He wants Inoue to retire.
Ed Hearn wants Bam Rodriguez to come up to fight him. So they're trying to see after this Bam, there's going to be a big announcement. I hope Bam Rodriguez packs this dude up, gets another belt, becomes another division world champion. That's even more impressive. It really stamps Bam Rodriguez's credentials, while you're moving up to fight a fighter like Naoya Inoue. And I think that Naoya Inoue has already fought his share of great opponents. He's had some tough fights, um, and I think Junto was probably his that was a great fight, man. But Bam Rodriguez can even be that much more. And when he goes up, if he chooses to 126, brother, that opens up a new can of worms. I joke around a lot about Naoya Inoue, and I fuck around in boxing. Sometimes I could be a little bit of a troll, but I make no favoritism for Naoya Inoue neither. I just told you guys this. When guys move up in weight, that's tricky. Is Naoya Inoue maxed out? Is he capped out at 122? Remember, that's his 5th weight division. He has belts in 4. He's fighting in his 5th weight division. Going up to 126 would be his 6th weight division. He can get stopped at 126 by any of those guys at 126. The truth of it. He's just that's something boxing taught me a very long time ago. I don't care how good your guy is. A weight jump,
Edwin, let me ask you this: they want Bam for January. That's what they're aiming for.
that's what they're aiming for within.
So
No,
what's
well, no,
how
they're trying to get it for within 2026.
okay? But how are they going to keep anyway busy enough? Like who does he have left to fight anyway at 22? Honestly,
No one. There's no one there.
exactly. So that means that anyway is going to be inactive till January, waiting for Bam. That's not going to be a good look for him.
Maybe he needs a little vacation. He's been fighting 4 times a year for the last 4 or 5 years straight.
That might hurt him against Bam.
It might. He
Bam might
doesn't
knock
want.
him. Bam might
He
knock
wants
his
to get
ass the
in the
fuck
room
out.
every 4.5 months. Naoya Inoue wants to get in the ring every 4.5 months. That's how he's able to fight 4 times a year. The calendar years might overlap each other, but the time frame is about 4 fights 4 times a year. You understand? I'm not sure how they're going to work this, where Bam Rodriguez would need to go. If Naoya Inoue is just going to stay at 122, he might never go up to 126. Might just
Well,
end his career and call it a quits.
Shingo wants him to retire.
Yes, I know that. I know that. And Naoya Inoue's, that's why I told you guys when he started saying that shit 2 years ago, yo, at 35, I'm gonna call it quits. I was like, don't worry about that. Boxers say all kinds of shit. And then all of a sudden you're gonna hear this. Well, if my body's still and I feel like I can still compete, Well, not retire. Then you'll hear that conversation from the fighter. We hear it all the time. I don't go by that shit. Now, I'm serious when I'm talking about the possibilities for Naoya Inoue. I don't think there's nobody at 122 that can beat him. I don't think there was nobody at 118 that could ever beat him. I think 118 was his natural weight division. I think that's where he was the more complete of the fighter. Naoya Inoue starting to head into a trajectory where he could be hurting himself. Now he's sacrificing maybe speed, maybe a little power, maybe some agility, because he's too heavy to move in his own body. And he could be defeated, trying to fight like a fighter like Tank Davis or something. That's like a dream fight. That's where I think he might lose, Naoya Inoue. I think he's truly maxed out. You can only ask for so much from a human being. Not everybody's going to be Manny Pacquiao. It's just Manny Pacquiao is truly a 1% fighter. He's in a 1% category of men on planet Earth. Not everybody can do that. And not everybody should be held to a standard. No, if this guy did it, you should be able to do it. That's bullshit. Now that, my friend, is bullshit. Just because he can do it don't mean no. That's not how life works. So I don't know what's next for Naoya Inoue. I know that Bam Rodriguez's rumors have been in the works. I've been wanting to report on it, but I've kind of waited. Let's see what Bam does against Vargas here. Let's see what happens, because it'll be fucked up if we come on the show, Ryan from the 6. What if the next day we wake up and we got to report Bam Rodriguez got knocked out and that Vargas stops him? Now what happens to the Naoya Inoue fight? I guess he might as well move up to 126. The Bam Rodriguez fight is out the window now, wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? So we'll talk more after, because I think Bam Rodriguez is a big player in what Naoya Inoue's future as a dancing partner for a future opponent for him. He's an option. He's an option. Bam. He's a worthy option. I think he's the only guy that might, not unless he goes on 126 now. That's a different conversation. But as right now, 122, nobody's beating that Japanese dude, and the only dude might is Bam.
Edwin, real quick, 'cause I'm about to hop off, but
yeah, I'm about to hop off too.
Yo,
Perfect Inoue and Foster over
Neri,
Foster versus Shakur. What? Go ahead.
he says he prefers Inoue versus Foster over Foster versus Shakur. But real quick, who you got, Neri or Casimero?
Fuck. Biz, I love y'all. Filipino. Love you guys. I like John Casimero. I gotta go with Luis Pantera. I gotta go with the Mexican. John Casimero's 1-1. His last fights, right? John Casimero's what? John Casimero's 1-1, and Luis Pantera is what? His last 2 fights. What's he got? Let me see. I would have to fucking load a box right now. I was just gonna hop off.
Hold on, I got it. Because I'm on it right now.
Yeah. But John Casimero had a bad performance.
So Casimero.
That's a tough one to pick. Because
so he's 1-1. That's Casimero.
Yeah,
and then
that's Casimero.
And Luis
Yeah,
Pantera in his last 2 fights is 2-0.
He's 2-0?
After Inoue, he won both fights and both by
Right.
stoppage.
He's a fucking knockout artist, bro. I'm telling you, man. Luis Pantanares is a hard puncher, bro. Anybody else, he punches with that shot, night. Anyway, got up and whooped his ass. That wasn't easy to do. That's why I like that Japanese dude so much. Because the shit he did. Luis Pantanares catches John Casimero with that shot, lights out. But John Casimero can fuck up Luis Pantanares. John Casimero is what the definition of a tough guy. He's a tough man's tough guy. He's the type of guy, John Casimero, if you were in a bar fight, you want him on your side. John Casimero. That's one fighting motherfucker right there. I'm not saying he's the best technical fighter, the most skilled fighter, but a warrior. John Casimero got the heart of a warrior. 6'4".
Yeah,
He
but don't forget,
he.
Casemiro. Casemiro's got 5 losses, and out of those 5 losses, he's only been knocked out once.
I know
Now, Luis Pantanares got 2 losses, and both of them been by knockout.
by knockout. One by Naoya Inoue and one by Brandon Figueroa.
Right.
So Luis Pantanares is the type of fighter. Like, you ever see those home run hitters at the plate, like the Mark McGuire's, Sammy Sosa's? It's either they struck out or they hit a home run. You know what I'm saying? They're not hitting triples. They're not trying to hit doubles. It's either that's Luis Pantanares. He went for it against Brandon and got stopped. He went for it against Naoya Inoue and got stopped. Both of those guys are multiple division world champions. Multiple division world champions, knockout artists kind of guys. I wouldn't say so much Brandon, but Naoya Inoue, 100%. Those are the guys that had to beat.
Hey,
Anybody else lost to him.
I just want the truth. Says I don't want a 5'2" guy on my side of the ball.
The 5'2" guy in the side of the box. Listen for that. Listen, but even though he's 5'2", you know he ain't gonna leave you. He ain't gonna run. I'd rather a 5'2" dude that sticks there and fights by my side than a 6'2", 6'3" guy that fucking runs. Yeah. So have whatever way
Yo,
you
put the
want it.
poster up one more time before we take off. Just put.
Before we take off, listen, if anybody, and I mean this, if anybody seen my buddy Bam Bam Boogie out there on these YouTube streets, he's been spotted on the Boxing Voice. He's been spotted on multiple YouTube channels. Well, we don't know where he is, and we're worried. So we put out a reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of our homie. 100 cans of tuna for his safe return. Okay? We haven't seen him in the chat. He hasn't popped up anywhere, but he's all over YouTube streets, hollering around, giving it up, giving all the likes up to everybody else. This is one of our members, and he's out there and he's hooked on them YouTube streets. We got to find him. We got to bring him back home. We got to bring him back to real boxing talk here at Round One Sports Talk. Listen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. There is a reward out for my man here, Bam Bam Boogie. If you can please bring him home safe. A safe return. It's all we want. You know, when people start talking about their loved ones and they're missing or something, they were always fucking choir boys, right? They were always good. No, your fucking kid was bad. You know what I mean? Listen, my man. Thank you for tuning in. Frontline, keep your eyes peeled. Keep your
I
eyes
got you.
peeled.
I'll
If
put
you
more
see them,
posters up tomorrow.
put some more posters up. If you see
Yep.
them on TBV, let them know. Come back home.
I
Miss
never
you.
see him there because I don't go there. So
Oh yeah, you don't ever show up there, but I'll see if I see him. But
just
there's his poster.
put it up over there. Send it to the host over there.
I might have to send it. I'm gonna put posters in my neighborhood tomorrow, all around. You know what I'm saying? See if they find them. So fight fans, thank you. Thank you for everything. If you had a wonderful time here, if you like the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Boxing shit talking back and forth, the vibes, but with respect. Always with respect. Okay? Shit talking is shit talking. 101. I'm cool with that. Okay? I could be wrong on some things. You could be right on some things. But I hope we had something to talk about. I hope you had something to watch. And I hope I made it interesting. And I hope I made your night go by a little bit better. And we got to talk about boxing. And we shared our real insight on what we believe with these fighters together as a community here at Round One Sports Talk. So if you like the vibes, you like the show, do me a solid, hit that like button, share the videos, become a Round One Sports Talk subscriber or member, and I'm on to the next one. After this one, we're at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best. Frontline,
Team Zayas,
yo,
bitches.